Hi, my name is Jenessee and I'm going to be your chakra guide for this month's Pick Your Path. So if you have not done this before, what we do is each month get very conscious about what we were experiencing last month as our reality. We use what we were experiencing last month to decide what path we're going to be walking this month, either red or blue, and then we align that to the monthly energy and understand what kind of things we're going to be experiencing throughout the month. Like what the mastery for you is this month, what the new beginning is going to be, and what your duality or the big test around the end of the month is going to be. So stay tuned and I will introduce you to this month as well as the very specific concepts that are coming through for each path. Welcome back. So this month is May, and May always tends to usher in a 5 energy, of course. May is 5, always. And so the 5 is all about change. So when we have a 5 month, it's like get ready to be uprooted, get ready for, what you thought was, the trajectory, the agenda, where you were going. Get ready for all of that to shake some stuff loose that you didn't expect. Get ready. And, it can be as extreme or as subtle as your path needs to be for all of this to work. I have the unique privilege of reading people and doing small group live meetings with our members every month. And the very last reading right before this, we had some members come on and they're already experiencing this like upheaval, this shifting, this changing that's happening, right? So we tend to be really sensitive to these things energetically, and then they start coming in physically and really rocking our world. So that's what May is all about. Again, whether it's, a change in your schedule or if it's a change in where you're living, it doesn't really matter, but get ready. Don't hunker down. Get ready to just bring all those roots you've set down in any direction, whether it be spiritually, mentally, emotionally, or physically. Just pull everything back. Get ready for yourself to be, repotted, right, is a good way to say that. May is all about you've outgrown something that you have anchored into. And now is the time to move into a bigger pot. That doesn't necessarily mean you're home, but it means whatever you have been really solidly trying to create. It's all going to move, shift, change so that you can expand even more, okay? But as we go through change, again, a person I love very much said, humans identify change as it's worse than being punched in the face. I think I think that's some statistic somewhere that they, I don't know, whatever this scale is, right? But humans would rather get punched in the face than go through change in life. And so get ready, because that's May. So just a few punches in the face coming your way. So if you haven't done this with me before, I track out through you behind the camera. I just saw we've got new, lots of new stuff coming. A whole new part of our platform we're calling Raw Shaman. I just saw my shirt in the camera. Okay, so look for that. That'll be a link somewhere, I'm sure. May, that's what we're changing. We'll just talk about this for a minute because it's on my mind, I guess. So May for the chakra community, because chakras weren't unique enough, we wanted to go even deeper for our community and for ourselves, truly. And so we are creating a whole subdivision of our platform called Raw Shaman, and we're going to be journeying around and it's got to do with everything spiritual, metaphysical, and plant medicine. So look for that, and we're going to be putting out raw videos here very shortly. So what we're going to do first is talk about the energy from last month. If you've already forgotten, like I probably would have, April is a building month. April is a really foundational month where you try and get everything ready, which is really funny because if you look at the trajectory story of it, right? You go from building, stable, trying to create a foundation, and then you go right into a change, right? But that's not necessarily saying that, you know, what you were building breaks down and you have to start over. That's not the type of change we're looking for. The plant, right, doesn't completely dissolve when we repot it. We're just moving things, we're shifting things, we're realigning so that we can expand even bigger. So April was a very physical, tangible, foundational month to really get you pointed in the right direction of this is what it is, this is what I'm doing, you know, this is you know where my focus is right now, this year of 2022. Which again, 2022 is a building year, a master building year. We're building not only our heaven on earth, but we're also infusing it with the absolute divine love, right? Which is this massive shift consciousness that we're all going through, which is more empathetic, more compassionate, more connected to one another, which is that master builder energy and divine love energy. So as we look at 2022, it's what, you know, what's your heaven on earth look like? That's the biggest picture. As we then funnel down to, you know, last month to this month, it's really last month was getting us really focused on starting to bring in foundational aspects of our heaven on earth. And now this month is saying, okay, I hear you, I see you, Jenessee, I know what you're trying to do, Raw Shaman, I know what you're trying to build, I know what you're trying to do, you know, for your heaven on earth. So, where do we need to refine that? Where do you need to let go of what your expectations were, let go of your agenda, so that we can expand quicker, bigger, faster, you know, such a human thing to say. More effortlessly, more fluidly. So that's what we're looking at right now. That's the energy that you should be anchoring into. So when we look at last month, now I'm going to give you the two options of how to pick your path. Again, we do this because what we think, what we feel, and what we choose every single day creates our physical reality. It creates the narrative, which will be red path energy in a minute. It creates the narrative, or it creates the storyline that we are playing now the role in, the lead role in. And so what your mind is thinking about, and then what you feel intensely, whether it be good or bad, and then however you choose, whatever choices you make, this is literally what creates your reality. And that's your chakra system. That's your multidimensional chakra system at work. So back to April, red path. You have a master energy. Interesting. You have a master 2022. You have a master builder energy of 22. It's window 22, and this is Archangel Zedekiel. This is all about acceptance, and so this comes in supporting the sacral chakra level, or the emotional level, the really feeling tangible, maybe even passion, what you were creating, what you're passionate about in life. And so it was a lot of manifesting acceptance last month, which is being in full acceptance of whatever the reality is, knowing that whatever is showing up physically outside of me, I've created. There's, again, if you understand what you think, and then how you feel, and then what you choose is this internal channel, and you create, and then you're in full acceptance of what's surrounding you. That is April. That is this energy. It's, if you understand that, if you've heard me say it forever now, or if you came in knowing all of this, this is your path. It's about being in acceptance, but it's also having to find deeper levels of that acceptance, because red path, for you, this is truly about, you know, maybe you've lived in this, maybe you've been on your journey for a while, and you know that, you know, what I'm thinking I'm attracting, and then what I'm feeling is actually bringing life. So if I'm feeling negative things, you know, what I'm attracting, it's not going to look good, it's going to be hard, it's going to be a rough road. And if I'm positive, and if I'm looking at the glass half full, then what I'm thinking and attracting is going to be easy, it's going to be fluid, it's going to be fun, it's going to be my passion. And then you make choices to stay in alignment to that path. So, you know, if you've been really working on this deeply, what this would mean for you for April and what you were building is you had to go deeper, that you were maybe tested You were tested on this whole cycle, this whole flow. When things change, when life outside of you presents you different options, different paths, things you didn't expect. Were you still in acceptance when they came in? Did you fully expose yourself and become vulnerable to the fact that, the reality is showing up outside of me, and that means I manifested this in some way? And so to come to terms with it and find what the meaning was for you, find your acceptance within what showed up, right? So, April being a month of building foundation, what are you anchoring? It's the plant. April was the plant that has been growing, right? And now May is, we need to give that plant a bigger landscape so it can get even bigger. So, April for you should have been, maybe having to come face to face with what you have been growing or what you have been attracting, calling in, and then anchoring into, and maybe you had to make that decision, and maybe you had to, have a reality check where you did have to kind of accept or go into a level of acceptance with, okay, this is what I attracted. It's here now, and now I have to deal with it, right? And maybe it was a good thing, and maybe it wasn't such a good thing, or maybe, it wasn't good or bad. It was just a thing that you had to accept. So red path, if that all feels in alignment to what you were going through in April, you will be red path. So if you know without a sliver of a doubt that that's you, fast forward and find the end of this where you get the 2 video options. Select the red path, or if you're in the app or anywhere else, you can just go find the red path specific video for May 2022, and that will give you your mastery, your new beginning, and your duality. All right, so now we're going to talk about blue path. So very different energy. So blue path, this is all about a hyper throat chakra. So you will pick blue path because of what we call gossiping energy in throat chakra, multidimensional throat chakra assessment here. But sometimes people can't really wrap their head around that word gossiping because it has such a bad rap. But gossiping is about the throat chakra being in the future, meaning you are living in something that's not here yet. And it's an expression of the throat chakra, so it could be any number of things, and I'll explain those now. It could be you knowing information that is coming. This is like telling secrets or having to keep a secret, right? This is like you knowing information, but not being able to share that information now. Even though you know it, you're, on a gag order, you can't talk about it yet. It could be vice versa. Somebody knows something that they are not telling you. I call these the bombs, the throat chakra bombs. When there's a hyper throat chakra energy, it's like, get ready, there's going to be a bomb going off in your field where somebody's going to say something and it's going to create, the words are going to create an explosion that has to be dealt with, right? So somebody dropping a bomb on you, a verbal bomb, and so if you're a boss, this could be your star employee quitting, if there's contentious energy in a divorce, this could be, oh my gosh, now we're getting lawyers involved. Or, it's something like this where somebody's been planning, they know it. And typically what happens is when somebody knows something, but they don't share that in the now moment, what it creates is a discordant energy pattern that everybody feels. Again, when there are secrets being told about you, you feel it. When somebody's withholding information, you feel it. We have very hyper aware spidey senses when it comes to this stuff. And so we can typically feel when there's known energy that has yet to come to light. And so again, this is a projection from the verbal, the throat chakra, into some future dynamic that somebody knows and somebody doesn't, or and there's other ways this can play out. But that would have been April, right? So information coming to light, or you having to keep a secret, or you being the one that wants to make a decision for your future, but it's not the right time yet. And so you're playing this very inauthentic role where you're already living within a future reality, but you can't tell everybody that yet, right? And so this is about withholding information, and it really can create some very some very hard, contentious, I shouldn't say contentious, could be, it would be extreme, but it just creates, it's like a distortion. What is that? The force, a disturbance in the force. I don't know. Oh gosh, Star Wars people, sorry. So it's something like that, right? Where it's not a pure energy. And so, throat chakra is all about think it, speak it, feel it. When all those things are in alignment, we're living our most pure, clear channel. And that means everything progresses forward in the right time, in the right place. When our mind tells us we can't do something yet because our physical environment isn't yet ready to make this step, yet we've already decided, you can see how convoluted that energy gets, right? And when we start playing God at that level, where we think we need to not say something because our physical money situation isn't ready, and then the people won't accept it at this time, and we don't want to trigger a series of events that we can't control. It's like when you're playing chess at that level with something that you've already energetically declared or decided, or vice versa, somebody to you, it tends to end in hardship is what it is. It's just not the purest way to handle energy, right? And so the purest way to handle energy at this level is the throat chakra, which is using your voice, walking your walk, talking your talk, or being self-expressive in an authentic way, and that creates the purity of the channel, that creates the purified channel. Okay, so that's blue path. So in April, if it was that, secrets or gossiping or people talking about you or you talking about people, or that gossiping energy really coming to light, or and that's even the densest version of that is getting caught for saying things that aren't true, or so that's a very basic level. What I was talking about is a really kind of deeper, manipulative, extreme level, but anything in between, right? So any of that, right? Stories being told about you, untruths being told about you, or you doing it for other people, anything like that would be blue path this month. So that is what you're coming from, again, because of what you think, what you feel, and how you acted last month. That is now creating the energy that you're anchoring into during this change cycle of this year. So I would encourage you to pick either red or blue path. Red path with acceptance, and blue path with gossiping, hyper throat chakra energy. And then I will meet you in the full video to go through what your mastery is this month, what your new beginning, and then what your test or your initiation is going to be at the end of the month. My name is Jenessee Roy. Thank you so much.